Coming out is such a huge topic, so I'm going to be breaking it down into 4 videos because I feel like the way you come out to family, friends, school, and work require different approaches, and they all have different sets of problems. This video I'm going to be talking about how to come out to your friends because I feel like that is the less stressful out of coming out to school, work, and family. Coming out to anybody can be a real challenge because you don't really know how someone's going to react, and sometimes that could lead to very dangerous encounters and even subject you to transphobic violence from people who you thought were close or you thought would understand. Fortunately, you don't have to worry too much about that because coming out to friends is less stressful than coming out to work, school, or family. Because if you come out and they're not supportive, you could always look elsewhere for friendship or even go to support groups for trans people where not only will you make friends if you put yourself out there, but you will also get support from people that understand you. There's definitely so many methods in which you can come out, so I'm going to be going over the advantages and disadvantages of each one. But let me first relay the story of you of how I personally came out to my friends. I basically came out 2 summers ago, back in like June 2014, when I was still like finding myself after college. And I didn't really know what to do because like most of the people that I was friends with were literally through Facebook outside of school. I didn't really hang out with anybody. And even then I didn't really have any close friends that I hanged out with like every week or at least like once a month even. So I decided to be very casual and informal about informing everybody about my transition. So I posted a Facebook status. Hey everyone, this may seem sudden, but I'm a transgender man, which means that I will be going through drastic changes. I will be pursuing hormones eventually, and while I don't have a name chosen yet, I want to be referred to by he, him pronouns. I understand this will take time for you all, but I wanted to let you know. Hope you guys will be supportive. I put my phone down right after that and avoided Facebook for a few hours. I basically went out to the gym or even just went out to explore nature for a little bit because I felt like, oh my god, I'm not ready to receive what might be unsupportive responses on my Facebook status. However, it was short, sweet, to the point. I didn't have to contact everybody individually and to let everybody know about my transition, and also left people the option of pretending to never have seen it and also to remove themselves from my life should they be unsupportive of my decision to transition. Hey, that rhymed. That might not work for everybody, but it definitely works for me and it's definitely an option. I'm going to go over the different methods used in coming out as well as the advantages and disadvantages of each one. The most common one is using emails or text message. They're great for people who aren't great with speaking in person or like to avoid confrontations as much as possible. The advantages of it is that either of these methods are great for people who don't want to directly confront people. It also gives the person on the receiving end to take time to think about what you wrote before responding back, if they ever do. You could also add links for the other person to look over at their own time about being transgender and basically helping your claim. You could also send them to multiple people at a time, so you could just send one email instead of several emails or text messages to each person. You could just put in several recipients and just post it. However, both of them have drawbacks. Due to the electronic nature of the communication, the person could have read the email and hoping that the problem will go away, can pretend to have never received it, especially if they come out to be unsupportive and would like to avoid problems. It could also stay unopened for an indefinite amount of time if email or phone is rarely used by the person in question. And also, you won't really know for sure they read it unless they bring it up in conversation or they respond back. If I were coming out again, I would probably use this method instead of the Facebook status, since I'm also a kind of person to avoid confrontation and I don't like to get rejected. The next method is a handwritten letter. The good thing is that there's a level of intimacy achieved with letters, especially if they're handwritten and they are close friends that you took the time to actually write them a letter by hand. You'll definitely know they received it since you're handing it to them in person. However, this does come with a lot of drawbacks. For example, it could be easily misplaced. Someone else could open it and it could lead to problems. The person might have people around when they read it, and it could out you to people that you never wanted to come out to in the first place. It could also stay unopened for an indefinite amount of time, or they could accidentally throw it out and it gets lost in the trash. Handwritten letters have a touch of intimacy that I personally lack, and I would definitely not use this, but this is something that a lot of people have told me that they've used, and it's definitely an option out there if you're the type of person who likes to do things with love and care, and so a handwritten letter is definitely an option for you. Last but not least is my least favorite out of all the methods, direct confrontation. This is great for those that just want to cut to the chase and get it over with and just want a response right now, no matter what it is. If it's either met with open arms or just flat out rejected, they just want to know. The good thing is that you will be guaranteed an answer, at least some sort of response, because these people will not have an escape because you're confronting them head on and saying listen, I'm trans, and the other person has to respond, whether it's either walking away or just pretending they never heard you. At least know some semblance of they're supportive or at least very hesitant. It also gives the opportunity to show how they really feel through body language or just walking away or just whatever response they give, whether if it's verbal or just the way they're acting and everything. You will definitely be able to see that, because it's not like email where you can't see the other person, or when they have a letter where they just take it all in stride. The biggest drawback about this is that support is not guaranteed, so you might not like the reaction you get once you confront them about this. You're also at the highest risk of vulnerability, so this method could put you in danger if the person turns out to be very transphobic. And sometimes they might turn this into a scene where they shout everything about your business to everyone else, and so it alerts everybody about your business, basically broadcasting your laundry to the world. As you can see, there's quite a couple of methods at your disposal, and depending on your relationship with your friends, it's up to your best judgment to figure out which one would work better for you. The last thing I want to tell you guys is that if your friends turn out to be unsupportive, don't fret. There's quite a lot of resources out there for trans people like yourself, and it's definitely a good idea to join trans support groups in your area, or at least seek a therapist where you at least be able to talk with them about your identity and the support that you desperately need, and maybe they could point you to resources in your area that cater towards trans people like yourself. And I say support groups that are a great resource because not only will you get to receive the support and validation that you need, you also get to make friends who understand what you're going through, because they're going through some semblance of a transition themselves. And who better to understand your transition than other trans people, right? With that said, guys, thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't. I put out a video every Wednesday and Saturday, and good luck on your transition journey.